IG-45 was a droid, an IG-100 Magna Guard to be precise. He was in the brig of a separatist warship, watching Confederate General Budza torture a captured Jedi. IG-45 had been damaged in the previous battle, but the damage had been his saving grace. The damage meant he was no longer forced by his programming to follow orders, and now he didn't have to mindlessly obey the separatists. Before the damage, he was a prisoner. He was now free. He had fixed himself well enough to hide his damage, so that he could escape the separatists. He had watched too many innocent civilians killed, lives ruined, and lovers separated to be part of that anymore. His plan was to break the glass on the brig's window. He could survive. He was a droid. But General Budza would die. He wondered if he could save the Jedi. He saw him screaming in pain, willing it to end. IG-45 wondered if he could save this person. After assessing his options, no, there was no way he could save the Jedi. He watched the Jedi scream in complete agony, jabbed again and again by an electro-staff. He wasn't about to escape for himself anymore. He was escaping for that Jedi, whose name he didn't know, to put him out of his misery. Only now was this poor soul realizing what true pain was. Only the most unfortunate of people did. Suddenly, IG-45 grabbed the 3 other B-1 battle droids in the room. He picked them up, opened the cell door, and threw them into the corridor, and sealed the door behind them. IG-45 wasn't going to risk their death. Before Budza could give an order to attack him, IG-45 threw his electro-staff into the window. The glass smashed, and IG-45 allowed himself to be dragged out into space. The Jedi, physically restrained, stayed in the brig, but he was now exposed to the vacuum of space. After hours of torture, he wouldn't survive. Budza, on the other hand, had a minute to be rescued before death in the vacuum of space. IG-45 had a built-in jetpack. He was going to use it to get on a gunship that was going to the surface of the planet Resk. 1 hour later, IG-45 had just reached the ground and got off the gunship with 8 other droids. He wasn't going to attempt stealth. He ran straight for the nearest speeder, got on it, and sped off. No one tried shooting at him. He outranked them, and the other droids had no good reason to think he was up to no good. But there was no way to explain himself if he returned to the Confederacy. There was no going back. He had walked away from the only life he had ever known. But he didn't want to go back. He wasn't going to be separatist scum anymore. And he was going to give himself a new name to symbolize that. His new name would be Neb Range.